Howdy, what's up? I'm Marty Schwartz with nextlevelguitar.com, and basically I just have like your standard country lick, and it's used a lot in endings, you know, endings of songs. You know, that kind of thing. Now, you know, I just want to preface and say, you know, I'm not doing a lot of country gigs, and you know, when people ask what kind of guitar music I play, I don't usually say country, but there's been a lot of situations where, you know, you find yourself and all of a sudden, you know, you've got this one country song that that you're going to end up doing, or you know, somehow you find yourself in this situation, and you're like, you know, oh, I don't play that style, but you know, it's nice to have a couple of you know, little tricks in the bag to pull out just in case you find yourself in that situation. So. And I'll say this, I played, I've never been in a country band, but I have played quite a bit of bluegrass, like acoustic bluegrass music, and that's an amazing music to check out. Kind of like the bluegrass, you know, guitar legend would be a guy named Tony Rice. Now, there's no way you can listen to him and not say he's absolutely burning and amazing and funky and soulful, but it's all kind of like within that, you know, country genre, or really, you know, more of a traditional country bluegrass kind of vibe. Okay, so let me talk about the scale that's used a lot. Of most country, and especially bluegrass, is in the key of G. Okay, and so I always find it interesting, the correlation actually between country and blues, because most blues is in kind of more of an E minor kind of vibe. And if I'm talking about E minor, and you talk about music theory, there's a term called the relative major. And the relative major of E minor is G major. So G major and E minor, they're kind of like, one's the evil twin, one's the good twin. I wouldn't say who is what, but in other words, they're really related to each other. So I find that it's interesting because the scale you would use for country would be called the G major pentatonic scale, or the G major blues scale, which is the exact same notes as the E minor pentatonic or the E minor blues scale. So you're actually playing the exact same scale, and they couldn't sound more different, you know, in vibe. So I think it's like really cool when you see that. So I'm going to play it right now as the G major pentatonic or the G major blues scale. And so the only difference between the G major blues scale and the E minor blues scale is just what we're thinking of as our tonal center, or what the root of the scale is, okay? So if I'm going to play the G major blues scale, I'm going to start with my ring finger on the 3rd fret on G. Just like that, okay? And now I'm going to go up what a lot of you have learned as the E minor pentatonic. So when I land on this G, that should be the conclusion of the scale. It should sound like it's resolved. So that's the difference. The difference is that your ear is leaning towards that G note of that scale instead of the E note. Okay? And when I was first playing guitar, I listened to, you know, when I was first getting into guitar and getting into lead playing, I was into, you know, the Allman Brothers. And they used, you know, kind of like a country rock kind of vibe, and Lynyrd Skynyrd uses the country influence. So, you know, these devices can be used kind of in a more rock setting than just, you know, a straight up country. Okay, so here's the lick. That's it. So I start with my ring finger on the 3rd fret, and I hit it. Okay, then I'm going to hammer on the 2nd fret of the A string with my middle finger. So here's those two together. Just like that. Then on the D string, I'm going to hammer on the 2nd fret, and then take the finger off and hit it open. Just like that. Here are all of those notes together. And then open D first. And then just simply the open G string. Okay, but what I did was I just repeated the lick again the next octave up. And then I slid up with my middle finger from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret. First finger on the 3rd fret on the B string, hold that down, hammer on, and then off, and then the G again. So here it is together. And then I just kind of went down a couple of little all stuff that you could really, use your E blues, your E minor pentatonic blues licks in a G major kind of vibe. All right, so I'm just gonna loop a little, little G chord, and then I'm gonna play that G major blues over it, and you're gonna hear it immediately sounds like country with almost just doing my E minor blues licks. Here it is. And then obviously the ending. Alright, what's up? Marty Schwartz here, nextlevelguitar.com. I hope you had fun, trying something a little different. I know I like, being challenged sometimes or kind of going out of my comfort zone. And I think, for me, falling or finding myself in a country situation it can be like that. So it's fun to just have a couple of little, these little tricks there that you're ready, So anyway, come check out the site, nextlevelguitar.com. And, we'll help you with whatever you need. Take care.